So as all of you know that linked list is generally made up of two parts. The one part contain the data and the second part contain the address to next node. So as you can see over here, I have created a structure called student which contains two members in it. The first member is integer data and the second member is the address to the next node, that is the pointer next. Over here I have abbreviated my student data structure with a small term that is called LL. So now onwards I will use struct student as LL. Okay. So let us start understanding this program of singly linked list. This is my main method in which I have declared few variables like ch for selection of choice, the position for after and before node insertion, c for counting the node, and m for positioning. M is generally used in this program for position the node. Over here you can see I have created three pointer variables of type struct student, that is pointer root, pointer p for traversing, pointer root for representing the starting node, or you can say the first node, pointer p for traversing, and pointer new node for the newly allocated memory. So as you can see I have taken one do while loop in which I have defined few menus, that is press 1 for creating linked list, press 2 for inserting new node in the beginning, press 3 for inserting new node in the end, press 4 for inserting new node after the given node, press 5 for inserting new node before the given node, and press 6 for displaying a linked list. Then after, whatever choice user will provide to my program, that will be stored in this variable called ch. Let us try to understand this menu driven program with one by one switch case iteration. The first case represents the creation of linked list. As soon as user selects the first option, that is for creating linked list, what we need to do? We need to assign a new memory to a new node kind of variable. The size of this memory will be considered as a size of struct student. That is why I have written new node LL pointer malloc size of LL. Malloc over here, as you know, malloc is a dynamic memory allocation function which is used to allocate fixed size of memory, and as you can see over here, for each I am going to create LL size of memory for each malloc. If we declare malloc size of integer, then it will reserve the 2 bytes for a particular variable. Similarly, over here I have written new node is equals to LL pointer. LL pointer is used for typecasting. Malloc size of LL. This statement will create the memory for a single node which can store the data as well as the address to the next node. This is the only use of malloc function. Okay. So as and when in this program I write malloc function, always we need to consider that this function is used to reserve a memory for a newly created node. Okay. So next I am asking for the user that please provide me the new element. Whatever data user will supply to me, that will be stored in the data part of newly created node. As we have already seen, our structure contains two parts. The first part is the data part and the second part is the address part. So whenever I create a new node, initially what I will do, I will assign the data to the data part of a newly created node, and I will assign null to the address part of newly created node, because right now, or you can say initially, we don't know where this node is going to be placed. Fine. So this is the first choice for creation of linked list. Obviously this will be my first node of a linked list. So what I will do, I will check if root is equals to null. Over here you need to remember this thing. In the beginning we need to assign root is equals to null, because without this statement our program should not come to know, or you can say our program will not come to know that whether linked list is exist or not. Initially we are considering that we do not have any existing linked list, and that we can specify to our program by writing this statement root is equals to null. So in the first case it will check that if root is equals to null, it says that if any existing linked list is there or not. If it is not available, then it will return null in root. I can say this condition will be true if the existing linked list is not available. In that case, what we need to do? We need to assign the newly created node as a root. Whatever node we have just now created, that will be considered as a root from now onwards. That will be considered as the first node of a linked list. Okay. Then after I have written C++, as I told you earlier, this is a counter variable which keeps on incrementing as and when I insert a new node to my existing list. Okay, and the initial value of C variable is 0, and as I am incrementing, I am adding a new element to my linked list, it will be incremented by 1. So that's why I have written C++. Find else part. Else part is written in the case when we have already existing linked list. In that case, what we need to do? We need to do that the new node of next. It means whatever data we are having in a new node, right? The address part of new node will be considered as a root. Okay, and root is equals to new node. It means what I have done, I have placed the newly created node in the beginning, right? And later on I am assigning the new node as a root node. Okay, and again I am adding one new element to my linked list, so I am incrementing the C counter, right? So this is what the case number 1 for creating a linked list. Now the case number 2, that is insertion in the beginning. So it will be somewhat similar, but in this case we need to consider only this thing, because in else part we have seen how we can place a newly created node in the beginning. Fine. So as you can see over here, I am getting the data from the user. I am assigning the data to the new node's data member. Then I am assigning the address of root node to the address part of new node. And later on, what I am doing, I am considering my new node as a root node, right? So by this way, we can insert a new node in the beginning of linked list. Fine. Now the case number 3. Case number 3 is for insertion at the end. Now for inserting a new element, or you can say inserting a new node at the end of existing linked list, what we need to do? We need to traverse till the end. And how our computer program comes to know that this node is the last node of linked list? So that we can do with the help of the address part. If the address part of a node contains null in it, then we can say this node is the last node, and that is the key point so far as insertion at the end is concerned. So I am using the same logic over here. Once again I am taking the data from the user, assigning data to the data member of new node. In the address part of new node I am assigning null. Now you can see, now in this case, that is for insertion at the end, what I have to do? I have to traverse till the last node. For that, I am using the P pointer, that is of type LL itself. That is what we have already declared initially. Okay. So now I am setting P is equals to root. It means right now my P pointer and root pointer are pointing to the same first node of linked list. Okay. And I am checking whether the address part of P node is null or not. If it is not null, we can say there is obviously a next node available in the linked list, right? And if it is so, what I am doing, I am moving my P pointer to the next node until I get the null in the next part of P pointer. Fine. As soon as I found the next part of P pointer null, this loop will get terminated. And at that time, what I am doing, I am assigning the address of new node to the address of pointer P, address part of pointer P. By this way, we are appending a newly created node at the end of existing singly linked list. Okay. So, once again, I am adding one new element in my linked list. So, I am incrementing the counter variable by 1. Next case is case number 4. In case number 4, what I am doing, I am inserting a new element after given position, or you can say the after given node. In this case, we need to think like that. Let's say I am having 5 nodes available in my linked list, and I would like to insert a new node after the first node. Then my position will become 1. Okay. So let us try to understand how we can insert a new node after given node. So again, I have created new memory for the new node. I am getting the data from the user, assigning data to the data part of a new node, assigning null to the address part of new node. I am asking the position for at which, or you can say after which node user would like to insert a new node. So that will be stored in POS variable. So now once again I have to traverse over here. Now in this case, it is quite obvious that we cannot insert an element, or you can say a node, in the beginning of linked list. Whatever element, whatever node we are going to insert, that will be obviously after the first node. So the value of position should not be 0 over here, right? Rather than that, it can be greater than or equal to 1. Fine. If the value of node is larger than the total number of elements available in the list, in that case, that newly created node will be added at the end. Okay. So once again, I am assigning my P pointer to the root node, or you can say the first node. I am taking one flag kind of variable m over here, which tells my computer program that whether I reach to a specified node or not, right? So initially the value of m is equals to 1 if the position is greater than m. It means if the position is 2, 3, 4, 5, in that case this loop will get executed. If the position is 1, in that case this loop will not get executed and it will be directly come to this particular statement. So let us considering that right now I am assigning position is equals to 1, right? It means I would like to insert a new node after the first node. In that case, what happen? It will directly come to this particular statement. So what I am doing, I am assigning P of next. P of next means what? The address of second node. The address of second node will be assigned to the address part of newly created node. And later on, what I am doing, I am assigning the address of new node to the address part of P. By this way, what I am doing, I am inserting a new node between the first node and second node of existing linked list. Okay, this is the case when user provides me 1 in this particular program, or in other word you can say this is the case in which if user would like to insert a new node after first position. Okay, now let us assume the second case, if user would like to enter the new node after any other position that is greater than one position, let's say 3 position, third position. So in that case it will come into this particular loop. Okay, initially m is 1, right? Now whenever we are moving, or you can say whenever we are traversing till the last node of linked list, we need to take care of two conditions. The first condition is that we need to always check whether we reach to specified position or not, and at the same time we need to consider that whether we are not at the last node of linked list. That two conditions we need to consider. That is why I have written two conditions in my while loop. Okay, both of these two conditions will take care that I am not at the last node as well as I am not in between the specified position. Okay, so let us assume that I would like to insert a new node at after third node. So in that case what I have to do, I would like to add a new node after third node. So how many times I need to traverse? Right now my P pointer is at first node. So I would like to go till the third node. So I have to move for second and third. This loop will get executed for 2 times if I would like to insert a new node after third node. So initially I am setting my m is equals to 1 and I am checking your position value will be 3. Okay, so right now I am at the first position. One time will this loop will get executed and I will move to position number 2, right? Then again I will check whether m is less than position. No, 2 is less than 3. Yes, the condition is true. Once again it will go inside and move to the second time, or you can say execute for the second time. At that time m will become 3. In other words, I can say this loop will get executed for m is equals to 2 and 3. As soon as it becomes 3, the loop will get terminated. Are you getting? As soon as m will become 3, this loop will get terminated. Or else, if I reach to the last node, this loop will get terminated. Okay, so we need to take care of both of these two conditions, and as soon as I reach to a specified position, what I need to do, I need to perform the operation. That what I have to do, I have to assign the address stored in the address part of P node to the address part of new node, that is this particular statement, and then after I have to store the address of new node to the address part of P pointer. Okay, so by this way we can insert a newly created node after given node. Next case is insertion before the given node. Now in this case the case is quite similar, only the difference is that we need to stop traversing before one node. So far as the earlier condition is concerned, so I have applied the same logic, only the difference is that instead of writing m less than position, I have written m less than position minus 1. That is the only difference, because I need to stop traversing before one node, right? So the rest of the logic will be as it is, and this is the case number 6 for displaying For displaying purpose, what we need to do? We need to traverse from beginning to the end, and the ending condition will become p is not equals to null. It means the address of p pointer should not be null. If it is null, then we need to come out from the loop. That will be the termination condition so far as display operation of single linked list is concerned, right? So as you can see over here, I have set my p pointer to the root node, and I'm continuously checking whether p is null or not. If it is not null, then print the data part of that particular node and move p pointer to the next node, right? This loop will get executed until and unless p pointer reaches to the null, or you can say the last node. Okay, so this is what all 6 cases, like creation of linked list, insertion in the beginning, insertion at the end, insertion after given node, insertion before given node, and display, right? Let us execute the code. These are the 6 menus for my program. Let's say first of all I would like to create a new linked list. So I will select 1. Let's say I am entering a new element, that is 10. So this will become my first node, or you can say the root node. Let me display the content of linked list. So I am pressing 6. Yes, right now it is showing me 10. Okay. Now what I would like to do, I would like to insert a new node at the end, that is menu number 3. So let's say I am selecting 3. Enter new element. Let's say I am entering 15. So 15 should be added after 10. Okay. Let me see. Yes, 15 is inserted after 10. Now let me insert a new node in the beginning, that is menu number 2. So it will be 2. Let me enter 7, right? So it should be entered before 10. Let me 6. Yes, it is entered before 10. Now let me insert a new node after given node. Over here 7 is considered at first position, 10 is considered at second position, 15 is considered at third position. It means right now my linked list contains only 3 nodes, right? So for menu number 4 and 5, my position should not exceed 3. Okay, and it should not be less than 1. Okay, so let us see, let us try to insert a new node after given node. So I will press menu number 4, enter new node. I would like to enter 8. Enter node number after which you would like to insert new element. I would like to insert new node after first node, so I will press 1. So this 8 will be inserted between 7 and 10. Okay, let me check. Yes, 8 is inserted after between 7 and 10. Let me insert one more time. Now I would like to insert 9 after 8. Okay, so that will become after 2. So once again I will press 4, new element 9, enter node number. So I would right now 7, 8, 10, 15 is the content, and I would like to insert a new node between 8 and 10. So my position will become after second node, right? So let me check. You can see 9 is placed between 8 and 10. Okay. Similarly, let me insert a new node before given node. So I am going to insert a new node before 15. So at this particular point, my node value will become 15 is available at which position? 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, right? So before 5 is there. So 5, new element 14 and before 5. So 14 will be placed before 15 and after 10, right? So as you can see, 14 is inserted between 10 and 15. One more time, let's say I would like to insert a new node before 10. Okay, so that will be before 4. Yes or no, before the fourth node. Okay, so let me insert it one more time. I would like to insert a new node before fourth node. Okay, so 5, 13, and I would like to insert a new node before fourth node. Okay, so let me check. You can see 13 has been inserted before the fourth node. Yes, so this is what the concept of inserting a new node in the beginning, insertion of a new node at the end, insertion of a new node after given node, insertion of a new node before given node. I hope you understood the concept very well. Have a look of a code once again. Thank you. Thanks for watching my video.